Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. I just want to give a shout out to my newest Patreon, Max and Blaze. Now if you joined me on Patreon, please understand that I'm about 3 to 5 weeks ahead on my episodes because of my work schedule, so if I haven't shouted out your name, don't worry, it is coming. Today's episode, I'm going to show you how to bring your images to life on Instagram using the Parallax Effect. A few weeks ago, I aired an episode on Venice, Italy, and if you look at the opening images, something's a little different about them. They're still images that actually move. Now, this is an effect that I've mostly seen in documentaries involving World War II or photographs from an earlier era when we really didn't have a lot of video. To hold the interest of the viewer when looking at all these still images, they actually found a way to make them move, and even the part that was behind the foreground subject was able to be seen in an image where it wasn't, that information isn't even there. That is what the Parallax Effect does for you. Since airing that episode on Venice, I've been honing my technique when it comes to the Parallax Effect, and now I'm ready to show all of you how to do it. Now you'll see me doing this more often with my vlogs, but you'll also see me doing a little bit on Instagram as well. When selecting an image to do the Parallax Effect too, the background is going to be key. You want a blurry background. You can do it with a sharp background, but it does take a lot more work to do it with a sharp background. So try to find one, at least when you're starting off, find an image with a blurry background. Here we have somebody in costume at the Carnival of Venice, and you can see that background's very blurry, so this is going to be a really easy Parallax Effect to apply. Now, if you're interested in following along in this tutorial, I have this image on my Patreon site, so go to patreon.com/EWJ. Search for my post on July 30th, 2020, and all you have to do is click on that image to get the large version, right mouse click it and save it, and then you can follow along with this tutorial. Now that we all have the same image to work with, let's head into the studio and create the Parallax Effect. This should be a fairly simple image to apply the Parallax Effect to because of that blurry background. Let's start by duplicating the image. I'm going to right-click the image and select Duplicate Layer. I am then going to name it Background Layer just to make it a little bit easier to reference. Next, we're going to select the lady and the light pole that she is holding on to. This is our foreground element. Use the Quick Selection tool. Give yourself a fairly good brush size and begin to select your foreground element. If you select too much, you can shift to the Deselect tool and remove some of your selection. Zoom in if needed and take your time during this part. Fuzzy items like feathers will take more time. Remember, we are posting this on Instagram, so we do not need to get every pixel. Cut the selected image. Now paste the image. This will create a new layer. Call this new layer Foreground. Hide the foreground layer. Hide the original background. This is where the magic begins. We need to fill in that background where the costume lady once stood. Make the foreground layer visible, select the background layer, hold Control, and select the image of the foreground layer, not the tile representing the entire foreground, but just the picture part of it. Select Edit, Modify, Expand. I'm going to select 7 pixels. This is just going to expand out that selection a little bit further. Now select Edit, Fill, make sure to select Content Aware and click OK. Now hide the foreground and you'll see what it did. Click Select and then Deselect. Photoshop did a good job. We need to heal some of the lines though. Select the healing brush and manually take care of any issues that you see. Just in case, I'm going to use the cloning tool to make those dark pylons in the background extend down just a bit further. Next, I'm going to create a new image with the resolution of an Instagram image at 10,080 pixels wide by 1,350 pixels high. Select the two layers from the previous image, and while not releasing the mouse button, drag them to the tab of the new image. Next, move your mouse over the new image and release the mouse button. This will transfer those layers to the new image. Right-click each layer and select Convert to Smart Object. Select each layer and press Ctrl-T to scale the image. Scale each layer down to about the size of the Instagram image to make it easier to work with. We are now ready to perform the animation. Select Window, Timeline. At the bottom of the screen, click Create Video Timeline. We're going to make the background zoom out while the model zooms in. Scale the background so some of it is outside of the frame. Scale the model so she is fully in the frame. In the timeline, expand the background layer and select Transform. This sets up the first keyframe. Drag the time slider to the right. Now, scale the background so that it is smaller. Press Enter. This will produce a new keyframe at the end of the timeline. Move the time slider back to the beginning and repeat this process with the model, but this time zoom in, not out. Remember to press Enter to save the new keyframe. When you move the time slider back and forth, you should see your animation. My biggest mistake at this point is not pressing Enter to save my keyframes. Let's create the animation. Click File, Export, Render to Video. Select the folder location, give it a name, and click Render. That's it. It'll take a few minutes, but your animation will be generated. That's it. Now I generally use a resolution of 1920 by 1080. That is high definition. That's what this vlog is posted in. Now, yes, there's true. There are apps out there that when you take an image with your phone, you can wiggle your finger around and create some special effects. But for me, I need something a little bit more precise because I do publish these on my vlog. So that's why I do it in Photoshop. Before I end this episode, I just want to remind everybody of my bonus content for my Patreons. Go to patreon.com/EWJ if you want to become a supporter of this channel. All right, everybody, go out there, find that next viral Instagram location, and share it with the world. And remember, never stop exploring. I'll see you all in the next episode.